Good morning.
Shoot.
Good morning.
Guys, let's
Are you able to
behave.
hear
Let's
me?
keep quiet, man.
I'm saying good morning to everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Yes. Morning, sir.
I'm going to start the presentation now. So today we're looking at counseling, from the definition into the benefits of counseling. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So the counseling process begins from the definition, and then after the definition, it looks at the important variables in the process of counseling. And the next topic is the process of counseling, and then towards the end, we're going to look at the benefits of counseling. So to begin with the definition, the word counseling refers to the provision of professional assistance and guidance in resolving personal or psychological problems. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just say it once more. Counseling refers to the provision of professional assistance and guidance in resolving personal or psychological problems. Okay, so a common myth someone may face is you hear people saying counseling is only important to people who have problems or people who are crazy, but that is just a myth. It's not a fact. Okay, counseling is meant for everyone. Even the counselor, him or herself, will require counseling from another professional at some point.
Sir,
Okay,
can you?
so basically, counseling talks about the provision of professional assistance and guidance in helping people to solve their personal, their family, community, or psychological problems in general. Are we together? Okay,
Yes,
so I'm
sir.
going to proceed to the next topic. So this one is talking about the variables in counseling. What are some of the things you need to consider when you're providing counseling to an individual? Okay. So the first important variable you need to consider is the age of the individual. Who are you dealing with? You consider at what, if for instance, you're dealing with an adolescent, the kind of counseling you provide will not be the same as when you're dealing with an early adult, when you're dealing with an elderly person. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so the kind of counseling provided to an individual, one can be based on their age. Number two, it can be based on their gender. Okay. Number three, it could be based on their culture, and then towards the end, it could be based on the nature of their experience. For instance, an individual who has had a bad experience with counseling, I'm hearing noise in the
Well, you
background.
guys, you're making noise.
Making noise, you people.
I'm hearing a lot of noise in the background. Those who are making noise in the background, excuse your friends.
You guys, you don't listen. Why are you making noise? Yesterday we were talking about noise. Even can't you keep quiet? If you want to talk, go outside. You see anything and go. Betfuno punzira tembere. Kutikasungomvera we mungu kamba. Bad manners want to learn.
Okay, so I'm going to proceed. I was saying on the variables of counseling, number one, you counsel someone depending on their age. So the kind of counseling you provide to someone who's just attaining puberty is slightly different from that which you can provide to an elderly person. Okay. Number two, we are talking about gender. So depending on the gender of the person, it could be a male or you could have a female as your client for counseling. And then number 3, depending on the culture of someone. So there are terminologies and habits that are accepted in certain cultures that other cultures will not condone. So depending on the culture of the individual, this is something we learned in sociology, where we say, because different things are accepted in different cultures, sometimes a client would come to you and then you portray a behavior that is not acceptable in their culture. So we are saying the nature of counseling provided to clients is dependent on the culture of the client. Number 3, the experience. Here we are saying if for instance, a client had a bad experience with having counseling from a male counselor, you could help the client by giving them a female counselor to provide the counseling that they need. Okay, so depending on the experience of someone, if someone rather a client tells you, I prefer counseling from a female, this is a step towards them recovering. So it is important that you provide them so that they receive treatment or counseling in their desired method. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I
No,
will
sir,
proceed.
repeat.
Okay,
Owie.
so I'm saying on the variables of counseling, you have
Repeat
4
on gender.
variables. You have age as a variable, and then you have gender as a variable, then you have culture as a variable, and finally you have experience as a variable. Are you able to hear that?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay, so there are 4 variables in counseling: age, gender, culture, and experience. So we are saying the kind of counseling you can provide to an individual is based on their age, based on their gender, based on their culture, and based on their experience. Are we together?
Yes.
So you need to consider the age of your client, whether the client is male or female, the culture of the client, and the experience of the client. So on experience, for instance, a girl child who has gone through a life of trauma. Why? Because they got raped by a male, could often be uncomfortable being counseled by a male in an enclosed space. Okay, so depending on this kind of experience, you're going to choose a place that is not so enclosed, or you're going to choose not to give them a male counselor, because in their history they already have a bad record with a male being. Okay, so depending on the experience of someone, or the culture, the gender, or the age, you could choose to decide what type of counseling you can provide. So when a question comes to say list and explain the variables of counseling, you are expected to write on age, gender, culture, and experience. Are we together?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm moving forward to the process of counseling. Okay, so under the process of counseling, there are basically 6 stages. Okay, if a question comes to require you to discuss the process of counseling, there are 6 stages you are required to write about. Number 1, you have the stage of pre-contemplation. Number 2, you have contemplation. Number 3, you have preparation. And then you have action. Number 5, maintenance. And number 6, aftercare. If someone has a TV on or a radio on, you can just turn down the volume. Okay, thank you. So I'm saying, if a question requires you to discuss the process of counseling, there are 6 stages that you are required to talk about. Number 1, pre-contemplation. Number 2, contemplation. Number 3, preparation. Number 4, action. Number 5, maintenance. And number 6, aftercare. Are we together? Are we together?
Yes, sir.
No, sir,
Okay.
repeat. The process of
Are you able to view the presentation? Can you see the PowerPoint?
Yes, we can see it, sir.
Okay. Okay, are you able to view my PowerPoint clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you can see my PowerPoint, you can see that the first step in the process of counseling is pre-contemplation. The second one is contemplation. The third one is preparation. The fourth one is action, maintenance, and then aftercare. Okay, so these are the stages in the process of counseling. So I'm just going to talk about each of them briefly, and then we can proceed to the next topic. Okay.
The one who is moving, please, can you stop moving?
If someone is walking, you're required to pause wherever you're at. The lesson is not taking long. Just take about 5 minutes and we'll be done.
Someone who is
You are
moving. Hello,
moving. You're making noise.
There's wind. We can't get anything. Kindly mute your mic if you can't
So.
watch this. At least mute
Nasi
it. You
propose
unmute
la
your
motoka
mic when you
mochad.
want to talk.
Okay, thank you. So we are going to proceed. So the first stage in the process of counseling is pre-contemplation. So a question will be, what is the meaning of pre-contemplation in the context of counseling? Okay, so basically two things happen when we talk about the stage of pre-contemplation. This is a stage at which the client is not, number one, aware of the problem. The client may not know what the problem is, or the client may know the problem but choose to blame another as the fault for whatever is happening. So for instance, in a couple that is having marital issues, okay, if they come for counseling, for instance, you call the wife for counseling, it's either the wife does not know what is actually happening or the cause of the problem, or number two, the wife is actually at fault but chooses to blame the husband. So we're saying on the stage of pre-contemplation, two things happen. It is either the client does not know the problem or the client chooses to blame someone else for the existence of the problem. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so under pre-contemplation, we also talk about the minimizing of denial. What we mean by denial is what I just mentioned. The client is not able to accept blame for the problem. The client is denying the fact that there's a problem. Someone tells you, no, we're just okay. Okay, the husband is telling the wife, or the wife is saying to the husband, we need to go for counseling. And the other one keeps denying, we don't need counseling. We are okay, we can still deal with our own issues. So we're saying on the first stage, there's a lot of denial. So your goal as a counselor is to try and minimize the level of denial. What you're trying to do is identify the problem so that the client has a conviction that we actually have a problem that needs to be solved. Are we together so far? Are we together so far?
Yes.
Yes,
So we are saying under pre-contemplation, two things happen. It is either the client does not understand the problem or the client chooses to blame someone else for the existence of the problem. So your goal as a counselor, number one, is to determine the level of denial in the client, and number two, to minimize the level of denial. So by minimizing the level of denial, you are trying to explain to the client what the problem really is. Okay. So with problem identification, the client will now begin to know which problem is existing and the need for a solution. So that is what happens in the stage of pre-contemplation. We're proceeding to the next stage. The next stage is contemplation. Okay. So now, in the first stage, you have defined and identified the problem. The client is aware of the problem. Okay, so in stage two now, you're going to try and create possible alternatives or possible solutions towards solving the problem. Okay, so under contemplation, you're just trying to explain to the client the cause of the problem and the possible alternatives to solve the demise or to resolve the problem. Are we together? Are we together?
No.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll say that once more.
Some of us
Saying,
we're not getting anything.
come again?
It's because people are moving and they are making noise.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that on the first stage of counseling, you define the problem so that the client knows what you are going to be dealing with. Are we okay on that one?
Yes.
Number 2, after you have defined the problem, on stage 2 now, you're going to explain to the client the possible alternatives for solving the problem. Okay. Under the same stage, which is contemplation, you're also going to help the client to find out the causes of the problem. What is it that's causing arguments and quarrels in the house? What is it that's causing a bad habit to just manifest in the life of a young girl or a young boy? So we're saying stage number 1 is about identifying the problem. Stage number 2 is identifying the causes of the problem and the possible solutions. Are we together? Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is that a no?
Naenda please. Karan gone offline. Mufuna kupunzira mwankala chi.
Once kambako lisikozi bapanga chongo ilo
Aba
basaba
bapanga
lesa chongo
chongo.
kati bafuna omuseera
Samba kudala leti lesoni. Fundi
vinga
muyambo panga chongo. Maiti zapunzira bwanji.
awuze ekitero beba muvinga oyaya muvinga bafuna opunzira ntala si efe tifuna opunzira timbeereko.
From your device, if you are able to identify the one who is moving, you can just let me know so that I can mute them.
Someone we're tired of telling each and everyone that they should stop moving, but they can't stop moving. They're making noise again.
So from your phone, if you can identify whoever is moving, you can let me know. I'm going to mute them from my device.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so we are saying on stage 1, which is pre-contemplation, define the problem, help the client to find out what the problem really is. On stage 2, which is contemplation, help the client to begin to understand what is causing the problem and the possible solutions to the problem. Are we together?
Yes.
Okay, so under stage 3 now, which is preparation. Okay, on preparation, you are going to now try to help the client to have actualization, to have mindfulness, to learn new ways of solving the problem. For instance, you're going to introduce interpersonal and communication skills to the patient, or rather to the client. For instance, if the problem they've been having in their marriage is that of not communicating, the husband doesn't talk to the wife, and the wife doesn't talk to the husband. Okay. You're going to explain to them different ways of communicating, such as non-verbal communication. To explain, say, instead of you telling someone what you're really experiencing, from how you behave, someone can know this is what is going on. Or as well, maybe trying to explain or rather express to someone what you are facing. Instead of having to say it straight, you can just express it in this other manner. You, as a counselor now, your duty is to train the client on interpersonal communication skills. Okay. You are saying under preparation, you are preparing the client for a life out of the hospital, out of the counseling setup, in a house, maybe for instance, where they've been having quarrels. Okay, if maybe you quarrel with your husband, your wife, what are you supposed to do afterwards? So you explain such skills to the client. That is under preparation. Okay, after the counseling is done, you are going to go back home. How do you behave thereafter? Okay, so you're going to prepare the client under stage 3. And then under stage 3 also, you help the client to identify their own values. As a person, what principles do I have? Okay, further on, you're going to explain to the client the supporting equipment that they have. What materials do I have to support me? Okay, what equipment do I have to help me solve this problem? So this is also going to happen under stage 3. So we're saying stage 1, identify the problem. Stage 2, identify the causes of the problem and the possible solutions. Okay. And then stage 3, we're saying identify the values and the equipment or supporting materials that the client has, and also introduce to them interpersonal skills, communication skills, and other things. Okay. So that is under stage 3. Under stage 4, which is action, this is a stage that is most important. So what we mean by this stage is the action that you are going to take is not towards solving the problem, but towards changing the attitude of the client, changing the thoughts of the client. Are you able to hear me? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So under stage 4 action, what we're trying to say is that the action that you are taking is not towards solving the problem, but towards solving, or rather changing the attitude of the client towards the problem. If maybe the attitude was that I am never at fault, it is always my husband who gives me a problem. That is not the right attitude towards solving the problem. So as a counselor, your goal is to change the attitude or the thinking way of the client towards thinking, fine, my husband is a drunkard, he comes home drunk, but maybe I should avoid quarreling with him each time he comes home. Okay. So the only way to solve this kind of problem is not by changing, is not by maybe stopping the husband from drinking, by changing how the wife looks at a drunk husband. Okay, do not quarrel with him each time he comes home drunk, but wait until he is sober, then talk about it. So under stage 4 action, we mean change the attitude of the patient or the client, change the thoughts of the client. Okay, when you change the thoughts, it is going to easily lead you into solving the problem. So this is what happens under stage 4, which is action. Okay, so stage 5, which is maintenance now. So under maintenance, for example, for people that take alcohol, for people that abuse, in fact, alcohol, this is the stage where they find it difficult because termination is going to take place at this stage. What we mean by termination is you used to meet with your client from time to time. Maybe you used to meet once in a week for an hour, maybe for about 8 to 12 weeks. Okay, so under termination now, you're going to stop meeting frequently. If you used to meet once a week, maybe you're going to start meeting once in 2 weeks or once in 3 weeks. And then slowly you're going to stop the client from coming to the counseling setup. So now what happens is when you stop meeting the client goes home. Okay, so how do they cope in back into society? How do they become functional again? So under maintenance, we're talking about conflict. So for instance, the example of a drunkard. Okay, you helped them. You help the client to solve the problem. The problem has been solved, but there's a saying that goes to say, once a drunkard, always a drunkard. So there's a possibility that even though you have controlled the drunkardness of someone, they will still go back to drinking. So how do you make sure that they maintain how do you make sure that they maintain normal drinking habits? Okay, so under maintenance, which is the drive. There's still noise in the background. Maybe a TV is on somewhere.
Guys, you removed my babies. Yeah.
Kwanga chechongo nkaba kuli quiet tufuna omuntu ako fewe nange
I'm saying under stage 5, which
class
is
ngeko
maintenance.
chongo napa tipunzire mpanga chongo.
So I'm saying under stage 5, which is maintenance, you're going to help the client maintain a healthy lifestyle. I can continue.
The person is
Come
moving.
again,
Stop
sir.
moving, sure.
Okay.
Please allow me to continue.
Yes, you can continue, sister.
You can continue, sir.
Okay, so I was saying under stage 5.
Moving.
You can repeat on maintenance.
Yes. So on maintenance, which is stage 5, I was saying
Who is in the presence or in the midst
making
of
noise,
people?
sure.
When you meeting in class, sure.
I'm going to move from where during class, mama meeting, Nanga family meeting.
Nanda, you are doing family meeting again with the class.
Imwe
kwasira leka nchipunzire.
Chawana tapunzira bwanji benangu bakamba benangu bamuvinga sitambomvera.
Bantu mwandi muvuta bantu.
You can continue. Sir, continue.
all right. So under stage 5, which is
Bakunombera kusiya chongo.
I'm going to continue now. So the basic goal of maintenance is to help the client to maintain a healthy lifestyle after counseling ends. Okay. So now here you're going to train or teach the client to say, should you come in conflict with someone, should you again have a similar problem, how are you going to solve it? So this is a stage on which now you explain better coping mechanisms. Instead, maybe, for instance, if you quarrel with your wife, instead of going out to drink, you can choose to do something different. You can choose to go to a church. You can choose to just visit your friends and talk about it. You can still choose to visit a counselor instead of you going to just maybe drink, because you're not going to end up moving from quarreling with your wife into abusing alcohol. We do not want a situation where a client moves from one problem to another. So the goal of maintenance is to help the client to establish a healthy lifestyle after counseling. Are we together?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to proceed now to the last stage, which is aftercare. Okay. So in aftercare now, you're going to be dealing with unwanted behaviors. You are going to train the client to deal with unwanted behaviors. For instance, someone comes for counseling so that they can stop smoking. Okay. So if such a client comes, you are going to do pre-contemplation, and then you do contemplation, preparation, action, maintenance. Then aftercare, this is a stage now where they have gone back home, the counseling has ended. How does the client move forward from that stage? Okay, so now here you're going to explain to the client to say, should you have a desire to smoke again, what is it that you can do if you feel like smoking? Okay, so you're going to define other mechanisms the client can use apart from going back to smoking. Okay, so you're going to help the client to have a decision making that is informed. You explain to the client to say, find other activities you can do instead of you going back to smoke. For instance, if it is a young man, you can encourage them to start maybe to join a football club, to join a club that does art, or even just music is better. Do something else apart from going back to smoking. So you can try to help them identify at what time of the day were they smoking, or how often were they smoking in a week? Why were they smoking? Or maybe you could say, maybe not why, but instead of maybe, for instance, we have individuals, you have young people that often smoke. Maybe before they begin to do some work, they have to smoke. Okay, maybe before they begin to study, they want to first smoke and then they go to study. Okay, so here you're going to explain to them to say smoking is the unwanted behavior. Smoking is what we want to eliminate. So how do we eliminate it? Explain to them that there is no relationship between smoking and studying. Okay, the goal of studying is to pass the exam. The goal of smoking is not to pass the exam. So I help the client to understand that there's need to eliminate behaviors that are not wanted. This is what happens after. This is what happens in the stage of aftercare. You are simply helping the client to get rid of the behaviors that are not wanted and to replace them with better behaviors. Are we together?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So basically, we are saying there's pre-contemplation in which you define the problem. There's contemplation in which you define the causes and the possible solutions. And then we have the stage of action in which you help the client by introducing to them better communication skills, better interpersonal skills. Then you have the stage of action. Under action, you change the attitude of the client. Then you have maintenance in which you help them to establish a healthy lifestyle. And finally, you have aftercare in which you help them to eliminate behaviors that are not wanted. So this is basically the process of counseling. Are we okay on that one?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So on our last slide this morning, we have the benefits of counseling. Okay. So our last topic is the
Repeat.
benefits of counseling. What is the importance? The question may come to say, discuss the importance of counseling. It is as good as saying, discuss the benefits of counseling. Are we together? We
Really,
together.
repeat there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so under the benefits of counseling, we have quite a good number. We have about 7. We could even have more benefits of counseling. But for this morning session, we're just going to talk about 7 benefits of counseling. So number 1, we have increased self-esteem. Do we know the meaning of self-esteem?
No.
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 Okay, so basically self-esteem, you feel like you are important in life, you are needed, you have value. That is basically self-esteem. So we are saying, if for instance, someone used to feel low, they used to feel depressed, okay? After the process of counseling has ended, the sessions have ended, there's termination, the client is going to feel better now. If you felt you were not important in life, for instance, if somebody has been diagnosed with HIV, for example, that person is often going to feel low because of stigmatization and discrimination in society. But after going through counseling, they're going to feel better, they're going to feel valued. They'll say, even though I have this condition, I'm still a human being. I can still do other things. I can still do what any other person can do. So after counseling, someone can benefit from it by having an increased self-esteem. Number two, the other benefit is confidence. After the process of counseling, for someone who was feeling low, it is likely that they are going to feel more confident about themselves. Okay, number three, you have improved communication skills. Okay, for instance, you have you are a married couple, or you have a boyfriend, you have a girlfriend. Okay, and then all of a sudden your girlfriend stops talking to you. Okay, for someone who has already learned the meaning of non-verbal communication, you should be able to tell, to say, okay, so if I've been texting her and she's only replying with one word all the time, this is what it means. She's probably angry with me, she's probably upset. Why? Because you are able to read non-verbal communication. So now for a client who did not know non-verbal cues, it is important that as a counselor, you explain to them other ways in which people communicate apart from talking. Okay, so a one-word response in texting is often not a good response. You can tell that someone is upset or someone is angry. Okay, so we are saying someone can benefit from counseling if they have been taught to say, when someone else is trying to communicate in this method, this is what it could mean. So there's increased self-esteem, there's confidence, and there's improved communication skills. Okay, this is where you also teach them to say, if you have a problem, do not hide it from your partner, do not hide it from your family. Explain it to them, let them know, so that you can solve it as a family or as an institution, as a group. Number four, you have improved decision making. This is a very important benefit of counseling. Why? Because most of the resolutions that clients make, like I mentioned earlier on, because I have a problem at home, because I've been fired from work, I have nothing else to do, I'll just go and drink. In Bemba, they say, so you cannot use smoking and alcohol to release stress. So as a counselor now, your goal is to explain to the client, to say, when something bad is happening in your life, this is not a good habit to obtain. This is what you should be doing. Okay, so you are going to help the client to just find better ways of coping. And when this happens, it means the client has benefited from counseling by having an improved capacity to make decisions. Okay, number five, you have the capacity to change unwanted habits. I earlier on mentioned to say, after counseling a client, you should be able to make sure that when this one goes back home, at least this person is going to at least manage to eliminate behaviors such as smoking, behaviors such as biting nails, behaviors such as uncontrolled abuse of alcohol. Okay, the other benefit is people who have undergone counseling are likely to have better coping mechanisms. For instance, when my girlfriend frustrates me, I'm able to just not go drinking. I'm able to just go and play a piano. I'm able to go and sing a song. I'm able to just visit a friend and talk about it. So this is a better coping mechanism. I'm able to maybe go on a road run. Okay, this is a better coping mechanism. So after undergoing counseling, someone will begin to understand to say, when something bad happens at home, instead of beating your wife, okay, you can just take a walk, maybe take a walk, go and grab something, drink water, take a shower. All these things help. For instance, when someone gets angry, you just been provoked at home. Okay, so instead of you reacting immediately, help yourself by going to take a shower, a very cold shower for that matter. It could just help you calm down and help you, maybe as you focus on the coldness of the water, your mindset is now moved from the problem that you just experienced to the coldness in the water. So at least by the time you are done taking the shower, you would have been calm already. So we are saying counseling helps the client to develop better coping mechanisms as a benefit. So on the last one, we have improved problem-solving skills. Okay, so in the process of counseling, it is not the counselor that solves the problem for the client. No, the counselor helps the client to develop alternatives for solving the problem and also to choose. So it is the client who develops the possible solutions, and it is the client who chooses a solution from the list. So that after the counseling, maybe many years later, if another problem comes, the client on his or her own is able to choose a solution from the list that they already made with the help of the counselor. So these are some of the benefits of counseling: increased self-esteem, confidence, improved communication skills, improved decision-making, capacity to change unwanted habits, better coping mechanisms, and improved problem-solving skills. Are we clear on that one?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so basically when we talk about counseling, we're just talking about the provision of professional assistance in helping people solve personal problems, personal psychological problems. And then in the variables, what should you consider before you counsel someone? Okay, we said you should consider
Please,
their
on the
age,
definition
consider
of
their gender,
counseling.
consider their culture, and consider their experience. Okay, and then in the process of counseling, what is it that you should do? Or what is it that is involved? We are saying it involves defining the problem, and then it involves identifying the cause of the problem. It involves identifying the possible solutions. It involves changing the attitude of the patient. It involves establishing a healthy lifestyle and better interpersonal skills. And then it involves changing unwanted habits. Okay. And then the benefits, this is where now you have the esteem, the confidence, the communication skills, the decision making, the coping mechanisms, changing unwanted habits, and problem solving skills. Are we clear for today?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
The definition.
The definition of counseling. Okay, so the definition says this is the provision of professional assistance. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
So I'm saying counseling is a provision of professional assistance in helping individuals to solve personal psychological problems. Were you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir. We're able to get you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll say that once more. Counseling is the provision of professional assistance in helping individuals to resolve personal or psychological problems. Okay, so the problems may
Clear, sir.
include someone who went through rape. The problems could do with alcohol. The problems could do with smoking. The problem could do with quarrels at home. The problems could also involve maybe poor academic performance. Okay. The problem could also include financial instability. So any problem that someone may face that may disturb their usual lifestyle or their normal daily life also could also be called as a problem that requires counseling. Okay.
Yes, sir.